And we're gonna go live on Facebook. We're just gonna rack it up here, guys. Whoa, we don't want to start that one. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna go over here. How's everybody doing listening to Hood News Global? Thank you for tuning in. I hope you can hear us well. It's a little low for some reason, and that's on the stream side. I'm not really sure why. I'm trying to work it out right now through all these different avenues that we have. So I apologize if it's a little hard to hear. Again, we're going to keep adjusting it to try and keep it better for you.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is, man. So here we go. We're going to go live on Facebook. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Here we are. Oh, there it is. We're live. How's everybody doing, man? It's been a great, crazy week this week, has it not, Dilly? How are you today, Dilly? What's up? What's been going on in the Dilly-rama world, man?
You know how it is. Just working hard and all the good stuff that goes with it.
Right.
It's been hot.
It's been hot as balls. I know that.
I've told you I've been looking for a new job. I love my job, but it's time.
Why are you leaving your job, by the way? I mean, I got to ask, because you kind of dropped it on me as a bomb right in the middle of, I don't know, what was it, Sunday or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's the reason why I'm leaving my job is it's hard. It's hot. I'm up and down a ladder all fucking day with a 30-pound tool pouch on.
Oof.
Yeah, so it's time to, I ain't no spring chicken. Not that I'm a little
what?
bit.
You ain't no spring papa?
I ain't no little biatch, but I'm like, hey, it's time to find a job where I can actually sit back and relax and
right.
and actually supervise instead of being supervised.
You want to be the supervisor.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to Stephanie and to Eddie and to CJ and to Lori and to Shannon and to everybody who's joining us and tuning in right now. I'm so glad you guys are joining us. We had a crazy week, man. Like I gotta say, Dilly, I showed you this video before we came on the show tonight about remember last week after we talked about that crazy not accident, but that fucking douchebag being a dickhead and we're sitting outside with our pistols
Yep.
Yeah, and then we talked about how that house is all fucked up with Daytona Beach management.
Yeah.
Well, bro, I went over there today and I shot video and I did an interview. The video will be coming out soon. I got to interview 2 more people over there. Then apparently there's like 30 properties that Daytona Property Management manages that are in very similar condition to this, and they have a lot of lawsuits against them. Hey, thanks for the share, CJ. Greatly appreciate that.
What up, CJ?
Yeah, man. I know you've been going through some shit, dude. And I got to say, I think you've conducted yourself up to this point very admirably, and you've done it no ironic or sarcastic intention with the flag situation. But I think you've done your grocery shit. All right, that's great. Here we go. Grab your ice cold dick and brew and get in your bubble bath and have unity bubbles from the comments I read earlier. But point being, hey, thanks for joining Cassie and Louie. Point being, all the challenges and everything you've been going through, CJ, and the way you've handled yourself and you've conducted your actions, and you are truly exhausting every possible cry of the law that you possibly can to resolve this issue. So hats off to you on that, man. I think you made a great decision, and I know you're a tactician. You mentioned the fact that you're a Marine, and you're playing it smart. You're playing it like a Marine, man. That's good shit.
Whoa.
What?
CJ's Abernathy's a Marine too?
You didn't know that?
No.
What the hell, Dilly? Come on, man.
Where the hell have I been on this, man?
You've been under a rock or something?
I apparently so. I've
yes,
never heard
thank you,
say
CJ, for correcting me. Sometimes my speech isn't the best with my TBI and stuff like that, but who cares?
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Dude,
It's great.
I didn't know that. Oh, CJ is a Marine too?
Yes, he was. He absolutely was.
And I mean, he still is.
He still is, correct. But once Marine, always Marine. There's never a former Marine or an ex-Marine.
Slow Dilly.
Sarah, thank you for joining. Kimberly, thank you for joining. Williams,
call me out already.
Calling you out. All right, so I want to open up the show a little bit different tonight. I want to start with an impressive news story I saw, and I got to show you this. Okay, I'm gonna show you part of the clip, and then we're gonna hop in the clip as it plays and discuss this because this is absolutely insane. I want to thank Fox for putting this out on their public domain, so it was great. Check this out, man. This guy, he's the badass of the week. We haven't done that in a while, but I got to give it off to him. This guy is the badass of the week. Watch this.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
this video is for Fox News, right? And this is in Las Vegas. And this is literally like the no shit, real life Grand Theft Auto. What the hell is going on? Watch this, ready? Boom, 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 boom. Firing through the windshield. What do you think about that, Dilly? Like,
Yeah,
have you ever had to do something that crazy?
I haven't, but to see this on the.
Isn't this absolutely insane? Like, look,
Yeah.
he is not stopping. He's calling in shots fired. He's chasing 2 homicide suspects that are black SUV. They fit the description. Like, he is not quitting. Like, my hat goes off to this guy. How you doing, Helen? Thanks for joining us.
I'm just
We're
like,
recap. Like, watch him reload. I understand he's under a lot of pressure and he turns it backwards at first, but still, like, he did a great job. He kept his composure, man. He
and
totally
the car's
kept his
still trying to
composure.
take off.
The car's still trying to leave.
Yeah,
Like,
it,
one of the
Wow.
suspects, they ended up dead. Okay.
oh, he did. So
Yeah, one of the suspects ended up dead. The other one, I think, was injured, but and they still got him. He's in jail now. No officers were hurt. They fired over 34 shots at police officers chasing them down through
okay.
Las Vegas.
See, I
They
didn't-
were fired upon 34 times.
So they were firing
Okay.
back. Okay.
So these guys were firing back. This just wasn't a trigger happy cop,
But
guys. I want you to understand
this
this.
is pretty sweet to see that he's firing through the.
Yeah, that's hey, dude. Hats off to you. That's fucking awesome. And look how tight the little circle group is under that much stress.
They do.
And-
It's,
I got like he handled himself so well and kept his composure. He didn't pull like a Will Ferrell in Old School where he's like, "We got to keep our composure," and he's hitting chairs and shit all over the locker room. You know what I mean? But
and you see the whole time with his body cam. This
Yeah.
is what's. This is.
and his partner came up on the other side, had a shotgun, and
I didn't. He had a partner too. I didn't even see that.
it
Where
came.
was that?
It's not on this particular video because it's from the body cam, but his partner did come around the other side and fired a shotgun, and they seized it. What I am so grateful for and so amazed by is the fact that not one single civilian was hit by a bullet.
That's what.
That is fucking epic. In my opinion.
That's what scares me a little bit. You know, shooting through the windshield like that. It's like,
Right.
Because we automatically know when a bullet hits a windshield, it's going to ricochet a little bit.
Well, hey, I gotta tell you, man, I'm
He did
impressed.
what he had to
dude.
do. I'm not
He
even.
did
I'm
what he
not,
had to do. He
Yeah,
stayed
yeah.
the course, and who knows? He brought some suspects to justice, and you know,
yeah.
I'm not gonna complain the guy's dead. That's how you
No.
want to die.
No, I know. That's.
You know.
Hey, I'm not bitching whatsoever. It makes you think a little bit, and it's like,
Right.
But hey, cool. Hey, he did what he had to do, and that's.
Where's this at, Dick? It's in Las Vegas. Sorry, I missed that comment. And you know, this is in Las Vegas. This is like real life Grand Theft Auto right here.
You want to
Okay?
end up dead? This is how you end up dead. You're right.
You're right, CJ. You want to have that? Yes, I am. All right. So this next story, like I saw this today, and my mind was like, boom! What the hell are we doing right here? I think this one's out of Chicago, Illinois.
And Chicago
Check
could
this
soon
out. Yeah,
test a
Chicago
universal
could soon
income
be
program
testing
from
a
a city
universal
alderman there,
income.
proposing a bill that would provide 1,000
What?
families with a $500
Universal
check
income.
every month.
I don't remember the
No
exact
questions
stats
asked.
on this at the
Majority
moment,
of
but
city
I'll tell you,
lawmakers have
it
already
was either
signed
there's
onto the bill,
1,000
and are hoping to
families
work with
or
the mayor
10,000
to
families
launch
that
the
are going to
program.
do and
And
receive
Chicago could soon
$500
test
a
the
week.
universal income
Regardless
program of a city
If they
alderman
work,
there,
they do
proposing
anything
a
at all.
bill
It's
that would
$500 a
provide
week. This is a
1,000
universal income.
families with a
Dylan, what are your thoughts
$500
about this
check
universal
every
income
month.
tax? It's already been
No
signed.
questions
It's
asked.
already
Majority of
about
city
to pass. Like
lawmakers
what?
have already signed
What
onto
do
the
you
bill,
think about
and are
this
hoping
shit
to
right here,
work
Billy?
with the
Take
mayor
up this joint.
to
us.
launch
I'm
the
about
program.
to. I'm about
And
to
Chicago
stand up and wipe my
could soon
ass
test the
with
universal
microphone.
income program of a city
Don't give yourself
alderman
pink
there,
eye, buddy.
proposing a bill that would
I'm
provide
saying, man.
1,000 families with a
I make-
$500 check
Like, look at this.
every month.
Chicago,
No questions
like
asked.
universal
Majority of city
income. What?
lawmakers have
I
already
make,
signed
I
onto the
make a
bill
little over
and are
15
hoping
bucks
to
an
work
hour
with the
in my
mayor
paycheck.
to launch the
You
program.
know, if you do the
And
math,
Chicago
it's
could
600
soon
bucks a week.
test the universal income
give
program of a city alderman there.
Right.
proposing a bill that
And you
would
bust your
1,000
ass, and
Yeah,
you gotta
that's
make up
my
for those
ass.
slackers who don't do
$500
shit at your job.
every
And
month.
you're getting ready to get
No
$2,000
questions
a
asked.
month.
Majority of city
And
lawmakers
if I
have already
don't
signed
work a
onto the
day,
bill
guess what?
and
My
are
check
hoping to
is
work with the
$400.
mayor
Oh,
to launch
God.
the
So
program.
it's.
And
this
Chicago
is,
could soon
we-
test the
we-
universal income
This
program
This
of a
is crazy,
city
isn't it?
alderman
It's
there,
slippery slope.
proposing a bill
Slippery
that
slope.
would provide
What do you guys think about that?
1,000
I want to, hey, Junior,
families with a
Junior,
$500
Jacob,
check
Lori,
every month.
Deborah,
No
Eddie,
questions asked.
CJ, what do
Majority
you
of
guys
city
think
lawmakers
of
have already
a
signed onto the bill
universal
and are hoping
flat
to work
income.
with the mayor.
What, like, I gotta open this up. You guys need to comment on
That
this. You
Chicago
gotta-
could
Who's
soon
paying
test
for
the
this?
universal
That's my
income.
I don't
program
know.
of
I
city
didn't get that
aldermen
far.
there.
I had to
Proposing
stay
a bill
focused on
that
the
would
topic
provide
because we took that random
1,000
road trip, you know,
families
that
with a
been talking about it a little
$500
bit,
check,
which was
every
totally
month.
awesome, by the way.
No
And the
questions
kid that
asked.
we met, okay.
The majority of
Okay,
city
let me
lawmakers have already
let me
signed
preface this
onto the
for
bill
just a second,
and are hoping.
okay? The kid that we met on the road trip, his name is Evan. Okay, he drove him and his wife. They drove straight through all night over through from Ohio, all night. We literally just finished filming everything we wanted to film for the Georgia Guidestones, which, if you haven't guessed it by now, is what we're talking about tonight. Hey, thanks for joining us, Dennis Ball. We're talking about, I'm getting everybody caught up in the Georgia Guidestones. One of the things we did, though, while we were there, which I thought was totally awesome, we took one of the Land Rocks, and if you haven't seen them, you should go check them out. Their Facebook page is pretty awesome. They have a lot of inspired artists who go on there. They got a lot of inspired artists who go on there, and children artists who go on there, and they paint these rocks, and then they pass them out. Lori, you're bringing up a very good point, and I can talk extensively about that, but we're not going to do it right at this particular moment, okay? I think the timing on that is about a week off. But I like where your head's at, because a lot of people don't know about the gun industry and ghost guns and things of that nature. But point being, to get back on topic with the Guidestones, Irv, he was on our show last week. Good dude. He's part of the crew. He had a rock that he had found a long time ago, and he had put it in his truck. And we decided to leave that to geocache it for whoever the artist of. Hey, Jamie, thanks for joining us. Whoever the artist of that rock was, and that's what we did. So if you saw that video earlier in this week, that was kind of one of the clues, which only one person who I didn't even realize follow us actually guessed where we were going. They private messaged me about as soon as I got back from the Guidestones, they had private messaged me. He's like, I bet you're going to the Guidestones, or you went to the Guidestones. And I was like, wow, I'm impressed. You're the first one to get it. So you know who you are. That was awesome. So anyway.
Fuck, I didn't even know where you were going.
Yeah, I didn't
And
even
I
tell
live
Dylan. He lives right next door. He's like, oh my God, you were rolling out like midnight. I'm like, where the fuck is he going? And I just see this random post, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
What did you think about that, Dilly?
it is what it is, you know. I mean, I know we live right next to each other. We talk all the time, but
Yeah, but it's not club style. I should have let you know, man.
yeah, it's not like.
Don't hear
Damn.
anything on the
I thought-
radio.
I-
Yes,
I
you're
thought-
on. Okay. Hey,
Damn, I
Junior,
thought
I'm
we-
really sorry. I'm trying to adjust that. I don't know. I got it all the way up. Sorry for the technical difficulties, Facebook. Let me try it like this, and let me try it like that. Maybe that'll help on, now let me put it out like that, on the radio part. Check. Okay,
Once
that-
again, you know,
Yeah.
we live right next to each other, and
all right.
you know, we don't keep tabs on each other.
Well, I can't do that. Sorry. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm truly sorry.
That's all right. If you miss a start, it's all right.
Hey,
It's
I
okay.
apologize, Junior. I don't know what the heck's going on with the radio part. It's all connected. Everything's showing high. I got a little bit of the reverbs and the settings on the stream time with everything else, but it's not putting out for some reason. Let me know through comment if you want me to hand the stream back over or what you want to do, and we'll get this loaded up on the server for your listeners tomorrow. I'll apologize to them here in front of everybody. I do truly apologize. What were you saying, Dilly? I apologize.
Anyway, I'm saying that we live right next to each other, and
Yeah,
you know, and you know, we follow each other. I mean,
yeah.
Not like footstep to footstep, but
No, we're not like
But
we're
it's-
not like romance, gay brother
Yeah.
bullshit.
yeah,
But
it's-
the point of what you're saying is we keep track of each other. We look after each
Yeah.
other's kids. We look after each other's
yeah,
family and everything
and
else.
when you take off like that, it's like whatever, dude. Have a great trip.
Yeah, right.
I'm sleeping, so it's all right.
Well, before we get into the Guidestones, I want to go to this next story that was also on today. And the timing, again, we keep talking about timing of stories and timing and seasons of stories and everything else. This one was from CBSN about Barack Obama giving a speech in Johannesburg. So
Being alarmist,
there he
I'm
is right now,
simply
and he's
stating
basically discussing the
the
importance
facts.
of perspective in speech
Look around.
Following the Putin and Trump
Strongman
meeting, I don't
politics
think it
are
was
ascendant,
actually a
Suddenly.
summit, in my opinion.
whereby
And,
elections
he's talking about,
and some
the rise
pretense
of
of democracy are
authoritarianism,
maintained,
which,
the form of it,
wow, didn't we just talk about
but those in power seek to
liberal
undermine
democracy, Will It Survive
every
last show?
institution
Like, I
or
think
norm
we did.
that gives democracy meaning.
Yeah, we did.
So it's been like a lot of interesting strings and things going on here, and you can see he's not just
In the
speaking to
West, you've
anyone,
got
he's speaking
far-right
to
parties
Johannesburg. He spoke the other day in
oftentimes are based not just on platforms of protectionism and
talking
closed
about,
borders, but also on
population
barely
control,
hidden
he's talking about
racial
the
nationalism.
elitists, and he's alluding to a lot of different things, and I'm not.
Many
I
developing
don't know,
countries
man. Like, what do you
now
think,
are
really?
looking at China's
I
model
just
of
don't-
authoritarian control combined
Wow, you're
with
trying to get my
mercantilist
gears going.
I
capitalism.
have to get your gears grinding, man. It's Dick and
That's
Dilly, and we'd be dicking around.
preferable
We gotta
to the
be about it.
messiness of
Yeah,
democracy.
this guy right here, he really gets my.
Who needs
my
free
gears
speech
going.
as long as
What about him get your gears grinding though? Like, what is it that got your
The
gears
economy's
grinding?
going
Did you
good.
play basketball with this gentleman?
Yeah, I did. I actually played.
Hey,
This
welcome,
guy right
Nose.
there, I actually.
the free press is under
and
attack?
everybody's seen, right? I actually played basketball, not once. but twice.
Censorship and state control of media is
See, look,
on the
right here he's
rise.
saying former President Obama on rise of
Social media,
authoritarianism.
once seen as a
He's-
mechanism
he's
to
talking
promote
about
knowledge and understanding
we're
Trying
and
to say how
solidarity,
Trump is going to be.
has proved to be just
we
as
talk
effective.
No, I think he's speaking of the
Promoting
democratic
hatred.
system overall.
Oh,
And he's
okay.
talking about how up and coming
Propaganda.
countries rather model
And conspiracy
China
theories.
and the Soviet Union right now versus our democracy, or what we believe is our
Being
democracy.
alarmist, I am simply stating
When really we're
the facts.
like, think about it like this: when you go to court,
Look around.
you, especially as a father or someone,
Strongman
you know,
politics
who-
are ascendant.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So when you go to court
Whereby
as a father,
elections
you're essentially paying for your rights.
and some
to
pretense of
see your
democracy
children.
are maintained,
Yeah, and
the form
if
of
you
it.
haven't seen it, you know,
And,
but those in
like,
power
that's
seek to
me, like,
undermine
that's the essence
every
of what he's talking
institution
about
or
for the most
norm
part in this,
that gives
in this
democracy meaning.
I mean,
piece here.
I know that I talked about this either a week ago or a couple weeks ago that I had to prove that I paid $325, and I had to pay basically $300 to prove that I paid that $325. So that's
You got double taxed on your
yeah,
shit.
I got double tapped on it. So
Being alarmist,
this guy
I'm
right
simply
here,
stating
he's
the
part of
facts.
the liberal side of the situation.
Look around.
That are going on that are trying to take
Strongman
Trump
politics
over.
are ascendant, suddenly.
See, I'm so
Whereby
glad you brought
elections-
up the sides issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's
Some
why I'm glad you brought
pretense
up
of
the sides
democracy
issue,
are
because
maintained,
all
the
we talk
form of it.
about, and all anybody's talking
But those
about
in
is
power
the
seek
sides
to
that everybody's
undermine
on, and the sides
every
that everybody's
institution
choosing,
or
and
norm
you
that
got
gives
there's so
democracy
many
meaning.
sides everywhere. You got 5 sides on the Pentagon, so I guess you got to split between 5 parties, or I don't know. Like it's just insane.
In
You
the
know?
West, you've got
So-
far-right parties
What is it about
that
the sides?
oftentimes are
and
based
different
not just on
messages
platforms
and the
of
way that
protectionism and
Trump
closed
lays
borders,
out to go to NATO,
but also on
and
barely
talk about
hidden
NATO,
racial
and talk
nationalism.
About Angela Merkel, and talk about Germany and immigration. And,
many developing countries.
And the oil pipeline, and they can't meet their GDP portion for NATO defense, but they're gonna pay $50 billion for the pipeline with Russia. Like, how do we decipher what sides are real, what sides are fake, what sides are good, what sides are bad? Like, what's really going on right now?
What I've noticed over the past couple of days is that these Congress, Senate, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference what Trump does. He's gonna be.
Can you hear us?
He's gonna be.
Oh, let me turn it up a little bit. Okay, that should be a little bit better. You should be able to hear us now. So,
But anyway, he's going to be criticized no matter what, just like every other president. Unfortunately, it just gets highlighted that much more because of what we call the fake news. And my thing is, everybody's all upset, all up in arms that he went and met President Putin, or whatever you want to call the Russian president, Putin, in a one-on-one with just him and him.
Being alarmist, I am simply stating
right.
I think it's
the
great.
facts.
You know why I think it's great?
You have to do that.
Look around.
And I think that's know what? That's
Strongman politics are ascendant,
That's man on
Suddenly.
man. Do I think that's a
whereby elections,
not to be gay? Do I think President Trump will losing a fight with
some
with
pretense of
absolute
democracy are maintained,
KG?
the form of it, but those in power seek to undermine
Who's the bad?
every institution
We all know
or
this. That's
norm
okay.
I mean, you see the
that
way he
gives
walks
democracy
down
meaning.
his own red carpet with that swag, like
Yeah, who's the badass? I don't care what. I mean, he's a badass. But
In the West,
and I
you've
think
got
Donald
far-right
Trump's a badass.
parties
Donald Trump is a good talker.
that
Actually, he's a great talker.
oftentimes are based not just on platforms of protectionism and closed
He knows
borders,
how to interrogate. He knows.
but also
I get it.
on
But
barely
listen, these are
hidden racial
two
nationalism.
of the greatest talkers that can sit here and jib jab back and forth.
Right, right.
Many developing countries now are looking
And
at
I
China's
agree
model
with
of
this.
authoritarian control
It
Love
was a
it.
meeting. It wasn't a summit.
combined with
Yeah, I mean,
mercantilist
whatever, summit,
capitalism.
meeting, whatever,
Like,
whatever
there's
you
some
want
very
to, however you
interesting
want
stuff.
to.
Preferable to
the
messiness of
After the
democracy.
fact, that's where I got the information about Merkel. But
Who needs
I
free
just
speech
think
as
it's
long
very
as
interesting going into our topic tonight. Like I said,
the economy's going?
Here it is, Georgia Guidestones. Okay, Georgia Guidestones tie into pretty much everything we're talking about for your everyday average conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But not only your conspiracy theorists, but also like Brad Meltzer. You know, he did a discussion on it. He's written about it. He talks about the arguments they present. And what got me curious about it was getting into some of this corruption and looking at some of the links. And you know, the Freemasonry thing has always piqued my interest, not because I am one or anything like that, but I think it's important to understand every culture comprehensively, from both the mainstream culture to the subcultures and to the underlying subcultures that all build upon the culture of the region you live in. Like when you look at America, how many subcultures do we have in America? You know, we're the land of immigrants initially.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, in subcultures, that's
like can
every
you even
state has how many?
define? Can you even tell me what American culture is?
I mean,
Is
American
there a
culture-
definitive American culture?
No, that's open to interpretation. I mean, you can't.
But if I say everybody feels they're entitled, and because everybody feels they're entitled, would it be safe to assume that Americans have an entitled culture?
Is it safe to assume that?
Based off that argument, would people feel entitled? What's wrong, Shanna?
I mean, it could. I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me because as an American, I don't feel entitled. I feel like I've earned my right. I mean, when you come across
Right. But even that statement, "I've earned my right," the attachment of right often leads to association of entitlement.
that part of it, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
So, like, would it? I'm not trying to convince you of an argument. I'm just raising a question. Do you think, like, can anybody or listeners, can anybody define American culture for me right now? You know, as we talk about this, because this is put up in America. It's put up by a small group of Americans who wish to remain anonymous. There's a lot of
No definition is
like right here. You know, it says the
comprehensive. Yep.
there's so much going on, and so you get the gist of it. Okay, this is in Elbert County, Georgia. Okay, and it's in such a remote location. If you watch the video I put out earlier this week, it's such a remote location. We had no signal there. You pull up onto that one single road. As you're coming up this single road, you see 1, 2, and a box of 3, 4, 5, 6, total 4. Yeah, so 6, 7, 8 cameras. Total of 8 cameras surveilling this monument. Okay? It's set up in your typical masonry fashion. It's set up with the paddle wheel configuration that's actually tracking the migrations of the sun, and it's oriented within the limits of the sun migration during the year. And it's also calculated on the sun's 18.6-year cycle, when there's extreme rises and extreme settings during the cycle of the sun's, I guess, year, 18.6-year cycle. And then you have spots where the North Star comes through all the time. And you got inscriptions on each side of the 4 stones in 8 different languages. 4 of the languages are ancient languages. And the inscription, like on the very first inscription on every stone says, "Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature." Now, do you know what the world current population is?
Where?
The world's current population is 7.6
I was getting ready
billion.
to say we're pushing. I was getting ready to say we're pushing 8.
7.6 billion is the world population. These guidestones, whoever created them in 1980 and erected them on March 22nd, 1980, which is often referred to as conspiracy things, 322. I also put out a little short snippet earlier with the interview on Meet the Press where it was Bush and John Kerry getting interviewed, asked about the skull bones. They said it's a secret society, but they can't talk about it, kind of thing. And even there, they're mentioning, I got that from the Alex Jones website or from YouTube, and like everything is in guidance with. They're talking about guide reproductivity wisely, improving diversity and fitness. That's almost kind of like. I'm not going to say it's eugenics, but does it have a hint of eugenics reference to it? Do you know what eugenics is?
I don't. That's a big word, and I don't know.
It's basically depopulation. The Nazis used eugenics to justify the reason for wiping out all the Jews.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
eugenics has been like a bastardized word, and it's never talked about anymore. So is that a eugenics reference? Because I mean, who knows? There's some stuff about this Georgia Guidestones, and one of the ones I highlighted here is one of my favorites is avoid petty laws and officials. How much bickering and bullshit and everything you see on Facebook about petty laws, officials, and corruptions and everything else. What's some of these comments here? CJ Evan, 5G is the plan to get the deduction on population, just a thought. If you're referencing the, I guess, global, what's the word I want to look for that's not too offensive, but then again, I don't really care. By means of global dumbing down or instituting a global Barney style, yeah, they're definitely using technology to do it. And you notice, you bring up the 5G, you got increased signal and you get all this stuff, and every time you have the sales for the has-been stuff is right about the time when you have all the unlimited plans open up for everybody, which is typically 6 months to a year before they release the newest, highest speed internet.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it's like, they just keep you submerged in this technological, you got the virtual reality, you got all these movies, and it's increasing at such a crazy speed, it's insane. Like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I know you're not familiar with all this stuff, and I'm
No.
like smacking you in the face with all that brand new right now.
That's all right. It's cool,
But-
man. I dig it.
You know, like who authored the Georgia Guidestones? If this was such an issue and such a problem, why do they need to remain secret? Like, who was R.C. Christian? What did he really represent? Did he represent the Rose Cross? Christian was he Mr. Christian Rosencreuz? Christian Rosencreuz was the founder of a my pronunciations really suck. Luciferian order. Rosicrucian order. Sorry. Again, my pronunciation sucks. Did they belong to a secret Luciferian society? That's what the general populace said. Do you know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
No.
No? The Bohemian Grove is this thing that's in a secluded area of the Redwoods that, like, major politicians and world leaders and Bush has been to and all these people go to, and they stay there for 2 weeks, and they do all these crazy Luciferian, mystic, Gnostic rituals under. It's totally occultism. It's crazy, man. Like,
Dude,
I've seen
I
some
wonder if
videos
they
of
do
it.
drugs.
I wonder, because you always have a shamanism, you know.
I wonder
Did
if
you just say $500 a month? You're not gonna be on the universal income, are you? Because $500 a month to me is like, why bother?
$500 a month. You're gonna have to get some good knee pads, I guess.
Yeah, I know, right? You gotta improve your status in life. But look, like the other, like right from the Georgia Guidebook, right? I got it posted up right now. The approaching crisis may make mankind willing to accept a system of world law that will stress the responsibility of individual nations regarding internal affairs and which will assist them in peaceful management of international frictions. And then you have from the memoirs of Rockefeller, David Rockefeller, quote, "Some believe we are some part of secret Cold War society working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty and I'm proud of it." End quote, by David Rockefeller. Now, is that what you think of when you hear David Rockefeller?
To be honest with you, I've heard his name several times. It's like David Rockefeller. Okay.
Like he was one of the men who they basically did History Channel and all this Discovery Channel shit on it. He's one of the men who built America, as they put it.
Yeah.
You know, like with the Vanderbilts, Rockefellers. You know,
Okay.
he's in that elitist category of businessmen, basically.
I need to check into my history because I'm way behind on that.
What do you mean you're way behind?
I'm way behind on my history, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right, well, okay, no, that's totally
I'm
fair.
with you on it.
I don't know what you mean by that, but I get it. And there are town halls and people everywhere speaking out about the dangers of 5G. They can target and kill people through radiation targeting through 900,000 watt towers. You guys need to look into it. I've heard very similar stories about that. I've actually heard circumstantial evidence that might be part of why they demonstrated the attacks like that in Cuba and other embassies across the globe, where it's dealt with that sound and that radiation and they're testing the threshold to see what makes them sick and things like that. You remember those stories? In Cuba, where they evacuated some of the embassy workers because of they didn't really know what it was, but they thought it was some pressure, some sound stuff.
Yep, I do. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they were like, we gotta get out of here because bad stuff's about to happen, or they thought things were gonna happen.
Right.
And did anything really happen, or?
Well, I mean, some people did get sick. Some people were hurt by it to an extent, but I don't think it was. I think it was kind of a test situation, personally, or honestly, I don't really know. Correct. Yep. And there's a lot more than just that, CJ. There's a lot more than just that. So when you look at things like these guide stones and you look at the people who founded them, and there's a secret group of Americans who seek the age of reason, and they're talking about is this a guide? Like Brad Metzler would argue that this is a guide for maybe the survivors of the nuclear World War III that's coming. And how are you not seeing anyone's comments? What is going on? I hope we're not getting censored because this is total bullshit if we are. And fuck you, Facebook jail. I told you that last week. We're not doing that shit. We're not doing anything illegal.
Not this week.
Not this week. No, not this week. But getting back to what I'm saying is like, would you like me to reach the comments? We're doing it. We're trying to hear the 5G. There's one faster speed that's on their way, actually. Big Pen is with me now. Keep Jerry, I don't know what that means. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. So, and I don't really think it's crazy to look in these kind of things. And here's why. Because if there's another couple willing to, yes, close out and come back in. There's another couple that are driving from Ohio straight through the night to come see these stones. And I say, hey, why did you come see these? And he's like, well, why do you think? The very first thing I read is maintain population under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. And then I look at unite humanity with one living new language. Like, what is the one living new language? How do we decipher the one living new language out of the 8 languages they left? Out of 4 of those ancient languages. It says, rule with passion, with faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Like,
yeah.
Apparently, we can't even discuss and figure out our own tempered reasons amongst each other at the moment. How are we going to rule with it? Like, what is, Dilly, your face is priceless right now. Like, what does all of this say to you? Like, is this just total crazy bullshit? If we were to actually go to 500 million in population right now, that'd be roughly a 93% decrease in the current world population. It'd be like 92 point roughly 6.8 or something. no mathematician. All right, so don't quote me.
It's those are big numbers.
Those are big numbers. Very, very big numbers. You know? I don't know, dude.
Yeah, that's
Are you just, is this just too psycho?
yeah. This is too much. I'm like not too much. It's like
Well, let's go back to, look what's happening right here, man. Okay? Like,
yeah.
this is what's going on our streets. And
yeah.
I guess he controlled the population right there. He decreased it by 1. And the badass of the week goes to this officer who.
I feel like I have a controller in my hand.
Like like you're watching Xbox. Maybe that's part of the point. Like maybe all these kids playing Xbox and being super badasses are going to be like the secret drone drivers of the future army of America, or the Space Force drone drivers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this would be cool, man. What's up, like
Da, da, da. And, like, have you seen that show, that movie, Ready Player One?
I haven't. I've heard about it.
You need to watch it. You definitely need to watch it. It is absolutely crazy, man. I'll tell you that.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's
We bought it. Well, Kim bought it. Yeah, she likes it. We like it. So, everybody, is it getting too deep? Are the Georgia Guidestones getting too deep? Because we haven't really talked about everything. Do we need to continue talking about everything, or should I tell you more about Aaron, the guy or Evan, the guy we met there?
that was his wife that was on the video.
Yes, that was his wife on the video.
'Cause she just kind of like popped around the rock and was like, "Hey, yeah, what up?"
Yeah. I mean, we met other people there too. Other people actually showed up. I got video of them as well. I haven't had time to put all this video together right at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I kind of figured as much, but when she popped around the corner and he was talking, it was kind of hard to hear him a little bit, but
was it?
and he was ready to talk and just do the thing like.
Yeah, he was actually in the one part where he got really excited. He was talking about how I think it was 1913. They just basically created the IRS and put it into function. And we later asked him. Said he said he tried to ask me, can you tell me the federal code or the law or the statute or any code whatsoever that exists that put the IRS into place? You can because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
There is not one.
Yeah, and when that was stated, and as a third party, I heard a third party something.
Right.
I'm like, wow,
It's a third party intervention.
Yeah, that's.
And there is you cannot find the code, you cannot find any regulation, you cannot find it, period, that established it, that says it's what you have to do.
Yeah, wow.
So, like, and he's like, we didn't vote on that. We're in 1913. We're sitting home enjoying Christmas with our family because in December that's when I went and got all put into effect, and nobody even was wiser about it. Nobody even knew, and they just thought they've been told this is what's got to happen, and that's what everybody did. Instinct conformity.
And he didn't just talk about didn't he talk about Social Security too?
I don't know that he talked about Social Security as much. I think it was Irv more talking about that same thing he told you. If he took everybody, I don't know exactly what he said. I don't want to misquote him. He talked to you more extensively about it than me.
Yeah.
But talking basically, if we figure out we pay somebody or everybody a certain amount of money and still we still would not even be close to the debt.
No. He was talking about let's say 200 million. The 200 million poor people, way above my head. It was
I can't remember off the top of my head. I do apologize for that.
Yeah.
But, hey, thank you for joining us, Mary. Let's take a look at some of these comments right here. She's been working for 12 hours. Tell us about Evan, he is from Ohio. Okay, back to the story, yes. Evan, he is from Ohio. He was driving, and he made it his mission to see the Georgia Guidestones. He's thought about it. He's been fascinated with it, and he's wanted to see it, to understand it, because he doesn't accept everything. He questions things. I need to love that good name. He questions things. So they drove all the way, all night, straight through from Ohio, And he stopped in. We started talking about the Stones. I asked him why he went there. You know, he talked about maintaining humanity under 500 million was the first thing that really just caught his eye. And he was going through it, and he noticed how there was 8 different languages, and he noticed how 4 of them were ancient languages, and he noticed how it was, his wife actually pointed out there was a difference in the spelling of pseudonym and pseudonym on the actual information plaque and the information tablet, basically, that's sitting next to the structure. It's this huge tablet that's sitting next to the structure. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up a chip clip here, right here. Okay. Let me get going. So you see in the background there when you watch this. Yeah. It's granted. Here's where we went out there, knowledge, exploring, stack, and just all that. You know what I mean? And you're basically noticing each structure out. Everything is just laid out. Everything's set up, and you can see right here as we get ready to take a speed up and go through it a couple times. And we're just kind of taking it in. And every one of those that we see,
Only the people that live there probably
taking it in.
totally.
Why is this place so far away? Why is it next to the
And there's no side roads, so the only advertising is just
you
literally
know,
for
those guys
this one
and
road.
then granted,
Oh, okay.
About
yeah, I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
I don't even know what
It makes reference to the hieroglyphics. It makes reference to all this stuff.
Turn right ahead,
Hey, thanks
and
for
then
coming,
in
Tara.
2/10 of a mile, your destination
How
is
sad is it
ahead.
going to be in 1,000 years from now, we look back at our time, man, they had hieroglyphics. They had a bunch of shit emojicons, fucking laughing faces. Like, that's going to be our
That's our
hieroglyphics.
guy somewhere. Get out of here.
Yeah, what's the next plan? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
What's up,
so
guys?
here we
Dick
are.
here.
We're coming up. I'm
driving
at the
all
Guidestones.
night. Okay.
You'll see
Got this
them. I'm
interesting
just gonna
thing
kind of let it run for a minute.
about,
So you can see them. You see them interact, talk with Evan.
Well,
Well, part of the sad story that was dealing with Evan is he was going to South Carolina to see his mom, and he hasn't heard from his mom in quite a bit. Right? And it concerned him because his mom's been with this, how you say, fucking asshole boyfriend.
Is that what it is?
Fucking piece of shit. Beer and yes. So I checked on. The house had been burned, and he did it because he didn't want her to get the house. Because everything was in order. They were even married. And now he's dealing with all of that trauma, that aftermath.
But it's easier to get us to make mistakes when we're doing it so collectively and so sheepishly.
That's the guy you just met up?
That's the guy we met. The guy in the blue shirt. You're gonna see him come right over your shoulder.
Wow.
You should
I think
be
it was
able to
interesting
see
how
right there, right
Trump
to the
opened
left,
his meeting with
for-
NATO and went straight after
right there, right
Germany
over your
for
shoulder,
giving
right.
them the
That's
$50
the
billion
gentleman who just lost
and they
his
can't support
Wow.
90% of the gross
Like,
domestic
it's
product.
serious, man. I hope he doesn't get
Pay
mad
for the
at me
defense
for
of
telling this
NATO.
part of the story, but
We pay 4.25%.
I feel like I have to
The closest
because
country to us is 3.85%.
what are the odds that you do
No,
something like this?
2.75
and
actually.
You drive overnight randomly, and then someone else is
Exactly my
driving
point.
overnight randomly. And you guys meet together, and you have a great conversation. You talk
It's
about
already
a
in
lot
play.
of good stuff, a lot of interesting
It's already in
stuff,
play.
and
With Bitcoin and crypto.
then you come to find out when
It's
you
already
check
in
on the
play.
guy because you want to make sure he's doing good, he's having a good trip, and he reconnects with his mom, and he hits you with that bombshell. And it's not even your bombshell; that's his bombshell.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what I mean? Like, it
That's
just
terrible.
it blows me away. It makes me feel really
And
bad.
everything else they'll do, they'll control it through the
Sure they
central
do.
bank system.
He's a smart guy. He's an intelligent guy.
And the IRS.
Sounds
which,
like it, man. It sounds like
You know,
he was a
He didn't
good dude.
hesitate to discuss anything. He actually spoke with some
You know what's
facts
crazy
and some
though?
passion.
No, I
and,
agree with
like,
you.
I was
But what's
down
crazy to me,
purpose, you
if
know?
I'm not mistaken, the Federal Reserve and the IRS
That was
are
his
both
wife.
private
His
entities.
wife the same way.
They're not
Cool
government
dude.
entities.
Yeah, she was very supportive. She was cool. She was, you know, she didn't overspeak. She didn't underspeak. She was what I would gauge to be a good, supportive woman. That's what I would gauge with,
That's good. That's what
based off my impression. So,
awesome.
Evan, to you in the blue shirt there, who just said who was having a discussion with Mr. Earth. Our hats go out to you. Condolences go out to you. And you know, I'm grateful and happy for the opportunity to meet you. You're definitely a smart guy, an intelligent guy. I know during these types of times, in your depravity and everything that you're dealing with, it can be very challenging to stay positive and stay focused. But you know, you need a hand, you need encouragement. Just give us a call, give me a call.
Absolutely, 100%.
100%. Okay. So that's why that story to me was even more interesting and had a little bit more meaning. Hey, thank you for joining, Anita. We've been talking about a lot tonight. We've been covering a lot of crazy stuff. This is just insane. What's going on, Shanna? Shitty. We will record then post. There is no service to go live. Remember, that's why you couldn't. We will go live. LO. Swear we're doing this. Okay, what are you guys going live about? Steph road trip. Zach Andrews. Thanks for joining us, Zach. Glad to have you. Lori, what city in Georgia were those Guidestones? They're in Elberton. And I think the Georgia Guidestones Museum is off College Avenue in Elbert, Georgia. And I tell you what, like, if you haven't been there to see it, I would recommend you go see it. It's definitely worth looking at. It's something very interesting. It's like there's supposedly a time capsule on there that says to be opened on, but no date. You know,
underneath those underneath the stones.
underneath the big slab that's just to the west of the stones.
Okay.
That has the description, and here, let me see if I can build it up real quick so I can pull the whole video up on the clip so you guys can see it while we're doing this. I'm gonna switch this to trying to do this on the fly, something new, never done this before, but hey, that's how you get better. So if it screws up, then don't be haters. Trip clip 2. I'll see if I can put some pictures in there and pop them up while we do this so I can show you what it looks like. Add image source. You know, and hey, how you doing, Tom? If you're just tuning in, guys, like I said, we've been talking about a lot of different things. We've talked about some of the top news stories. What do you think about Putin's, like, what do you think about, did you see the interview where essentially, I forget who interviewed him, but he had the indictments issued by the FBI, the 12 indictments for the Russians, spies, issued by the FBI. Did you see what Putin did when he was handed those indictments? Like during his live interview?
Well, from what I was saying, he was inviting Mueller to come over and let's do the investigation.
Well, yeah. The point of what I'm getting at is when the journalist who was interviewing him handed him the indictments, Putin paused, looked stunned, not stunned, but he paused and he's like, "How do I want to do this?" And he, like, to me, it looked like he was analyzing whether or not he should pick them up and take them, because once he takes them, then he's liable and can be accountable for actually seeing them. I'm going to switch to this other one here and show you that. Actually, that doesn't look that great. Never mind. I'll put those other pictures out later. Apologies for that, but it looks too crappy if I do it that way. Anyway, but point being, like, he didn't pick them up. He's just like, here, yeah, just put them on the table. Like, he was just kind of, put them on the table. I'll get to them, you know? But the other thing people not talking about is the fact that there is one American on that list. What does that mean?
Who's that, Mueller?
I don't know if it's Mueller. That name hasn't been released. And speaking of releasing names, I know this is totally out of left field, but apparently the Veterans on Patrol, Mr. Lewis Arthur, aka Michael Mayer, Mr.
Oh God.
fucking fucktard, whatever the hell he is, I don't know. Is it you or Jamie? Like I said, Anita, and I addressed that onto CJ's live feed, and I know Jamie's watching. I'm not teamed, I'm not partnered with anyone. I will give advice and consult anyone and do the, in my opinion, this is what I think might be to your best advantage. But I can't say that everybody acts by the advice that you give. So I'm not saying she has taken some good advice and she hasn't taken some other advice. And it's not me to direct her train of thought or anything else like that. But I am not partnered with anyone. Dilly and I are 100% independent. We're not affiliate. I mean, not even affiliated, partnered. We're our own independent organization. Period.
We do our own thing.
We do our own thing. If you mistake the kindness for a weakness, and if you're a vet, you know what that means. I know you do. You mistake the kindness for a weakness. Guess what? It'll be dealt with accordingly and appropriately.
Well, Tom said NWO.
New World Order
Guidestones.
Guidestones. Yes, that's what a lot of people say. Sharon, yes, I do want to be united. I think that it is important that you understand and can interact with various people, not just the people who agree with you. And I say that because if you only keep yourself in the group that agrees with you, you're never gonna push back or do anything better than what you already agreed upon. So what is the fucking point of that? What is the point of that? There is nothing wrong with healthy discourse. We still have healthy discourse about disagreements to this day.
Absolutely. I mean,
You have to.
guess what we do? We talk it out. Like, yeah.
Yeah, we slice it, we dice it, we fucking rip it apart, we look at it, we analyze it, and then we go back together. Let's go with Mr. Fucktard. Who's Mr. Fucktard? I've dealt with a lot of fucktards in a day, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of fucktards on social media. The one thing that's designed, or initially was designed to bring people together in a unity state where you could actually interact, turned into a platform of civil war, essentially, between the trolls and all the other bullshit, and then you have all this information going out, and people, you ever stop and think, how do I encourage closed-minded people to open up their minds? How do you encourage something like that? How do you do it effectively?
You just gotta simply ask the questions, and when you ask the questions, like, "Hey, how are you?"
When's the last time you walked down the street and somebody said hi to you and you didn't say somebody hi to someone else first?
Oh yeah, well that's definitely that's a tough one because
That's fucking pathetic.
usually when I go into the gas station, it's like, "Hey, thank you," or whatever.
Billy is not quiet wherever he goes, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, we go down. "Hey, how are you, man?" It's thank you for opening the door, whatever it is, and that's what it is. I mean, we are definitely nice people.
Right.
We're not
right.
just a regular.
We're not
go
gonna-
and go fuck yourself.
Yeah, no. And I see that all the time. I see it on a daily. Like, I'm standing in the 7-Eleven today. I'm getting, I think I was getting a Coke. And I don't know this lady. She turns to me and she's like, "Man, out of nowhere, out of random, this is the craziest place I've ever lived." I don't know you. Why would you turn around and say that to me? You just made it crazier by doing that. I'm gonna hit this other leg real quick.
Man, how about the weather? The weather is beautiful tonight.
Yes, it finally is nice. It's been hot as balls.
It's been hot as balls.
Dude, I've been going to the hyperbaric chamber treatment which I am pushing really hard for veterans to be approved for because they need to be. This thing's fucking awesome. Lewis idiot, yes. Oh yeah, back to Lewis thing because I got sidetracked. Thank you for bringing that back. Lewis, it's my understanding that he released names of federal agents and other people and is trying to hold out on some mountaintops right now and not be arrested or something. And like he really compromised some people. That's my understanding. That's what I've been told. I got told that not too long before the show, so I haven't had time to check it all yet. But I hope that's not true, man, because I don't have balls, but it's hot here.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sure you get the reference.
yeah.
Hot as balls.
My balls been got. My balls been get hot as fuck where I work.
You get up and
Literally.
it's like chewing gum on the side of your leg. You're like,
Yeah.
shit.
God damn.
He was supposed to have court today. He did not show up. I do understand that. He stayed on the tower. He denied access to law or government officials at this point. Is that correct, Shannon? That's my understanding of it at the moment. And it's also my understanding he released, or somebody released, a lot of anonymous information through ghost links in his videos for people to click on. He needs to go to jail for his scams. You corrected that too quick. I didn't get to catch the funny part. What do you think? I mean, like, is there a state of civil unrest? Is it?
Are we on the
Is
verge
it
of it?
all? Are we on the verge of some shit? Are we? Like,
I think we are. I mean, not
like to what
particularly
extent though?
to certain parts of the country where we're living in. Yes, especially the city side of things.
Right.
To the big cities, are we in the state of?
He docks people.
Yeah,
Docs.
if we're
Dude.
living in Sacramento, San Francisco,
Right.
Chicago, New York City, are you on the verge of civil unrest? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God we live in,
We're on the verge of meth unrest over here.
yeah. I mean, we live in Florida, which is not we're not too bad. If there's a civil unrest, it'd be in Miami.
Yeah. It's definitely beyond the Florida-Georgia line.
Maybe Jacksonville.
Now, I think it would.
I think there's a
I think
lot
you
of
would see civil unrest come out of Orlando like you got no idea.
yeah. That would be definitely a the LGBTQRS BBBR
ABCs.
yeah ABCs QRSs and all that.
Oh man.
But Orlando doesn't. That's not the type of civil unrest that I would be even.
You wouldn't even be worried
remotely
about that.
No,
Okay.
I
So-
would be worried about the big cities.
Huh, the big city. It's hot as badge here. That's a good one. You got him. You got him, Killer. That was
Yeah.
a good one. Woo! Hot as badge. Hot as badge.
How hot is badge? I've heard it's hot as balls, but what's the difference? I don't understand.
I don't know. Do you like being inside a nice warm badge?
I do, but
Then,
is it as hot as badge?
and I guess it depends if you're having like post-workout sex.
Oh, okay.
You ever had post-workout sex?
Yeah.
Did you shower first? Because
No.
it takes the temp away. Well, you know what? If we make you pee, then too fucking bad. You just got to deal with it and buy the Depends already, like you said you were going to. And yes, it is a fucked art. You know, why would you do people? Why would you do that? Why? Oh my fucking god. Yes. Oh my god. He is a fucktard. Why would you do that to people? I'm glad we talked about it. I'm not gonna get wrapped down that rabbit hole again though, because there are legitimate people out there doing it, and they've been doing it for quite a long time. I've mentioned in the past. Those Border Patrol men who they don't seek the live feeds, they don't seek the publicity, they don't seek all of that crap, and they show you hard evidence, hard video evidence from their game cameras that they produce. I've yet to see any of that from Mr. Lewis Arthur or Arthur Lewis or Michael Mayer or Fucktard or whatever you want to call him. And if you get pissed at me, you get pissed at me. So what? It is what it is. Murder, yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm pissed at him for fucking associating and putting all this shit around veterans and dealing with enough of their own shit. And using them to create your little Ponzi scheme of charitable donations and the pirates of nonprofits and Commodores of corruption and every other fancy fucking word you want to come up with. Yeah. Anyway, I forgot, but I'm in the bass still, so fuck it. That's right. Now Dilly is teaching us our new revised ABCs. That's right. And they start with all your agencies. Oh, look at that. We made it rhyme. It's FBI time. Incite the indictments. Oops. I don't know what that meant. What do you think about that Peter Strzok testimony, man? Did you see that evil shit? And they're like, arr, arr, arr.
The Peter Strzok, and
Yeah.
even Trump. I saw a little bit of the Page interview, and she was being totally honest. She actually threw it out there, and
Right.
Peter Strzok, man, he was just such an asshole. You know, he's second in charge of the FBI, and his pedestal, he thinks that he's Mr.
Oh, he was a narcissistic motherfucker, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he was all about it. Just like Trump said, how's that guy still getting paid?
Michael Lewis Arthur Meyer. Yeah, that's a mouthful. I don't want to keep saying. But thank you. He said sarcastically.
But it's like, I mean, does somebody not have the power to fire him? Or does he have...
Well, I would think so. I mean, if you're not in charge of the FBI. And wait. Does somebody have... I'm sorry. Did the FBI create themselves or did Congress create the FBI?
I don't... That,
Pretty fucking sure Congress created the FBI. So how the fuck can the FBI tell Congress what they can and cannot do?
that is the question.
It's not a question.
That is
Congress created the FBI. How the fuck is the FBI going to tell Congress to go fuck themselves?
That's
Unless we got a lot of big
that's where we're having a problem with the
pussy-footed people in
DOJ.
Congress.
We're having a problem with, Department of Justice too. It's just like, why? How come? What? I don't understand why we're having so many issues with. Oh, we're going to subpoena you.
Okay, we like.
And if you don't answer the questions, we're going to throw you in jail. The problem is they're throwing these people in jail that are all like on the Trump side. It's crazy.
It is crazy, but I think it's more than just the Trump side or the Hillary side or the. I mean, like I saw senators give interviews where they said after the closed door session with Lisa Page, they had much more new intelligence they had to go through, and narcissistic is exactly what Peter is. Which Peter? Peter Pan? Peter Paul? I don't know what you're talking about there. Oh yeah, Peter. You're right. That was totally a joke. Like, so now they got to go through all this other stuff, and how much is that? Like, where is that going to take us?
It's going to be a never ending. What's that movie?
Never-ending story.
You got this dragon flying around with a badass.
Yeah.
I'm a kid flying on a badass dragon. Feel cool as fuck all the time.
I'm changing the world, man.
And it's like it's never ending. It's never gonna be. It's never ending. Unfortunately, it's just not gonna end.
No.
I wish it would. I wish it'd be over with. And
Define over with, because like there's been a
I
lot
just wish-
between the nuclear talks and nuclear proliferation and all of this stuff on the global stage. Like, I want it to be over with too. I want it to be like, this is how much time are we wasting our time focusing on the wrong shit?
I'm not even worried about my time. I'm worried about my taxpayer dollars, man. Fuck my time.
What do you got, Mary? Mary's got something. I want to hear this. I have something. I think a lot of people worry about their taxpayer dollars. I think that people don't want it. It's almost like a lottery when you think about it. Like, everybody keeps paying their money for their lottery ticket. You know what I mean? To have this great life, this great American dream, this great American life. You pay your taxes, you're paying your money for that lottery ticket, but you never quite win the American life lottery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. How many people does that affect? How many of our viewers or listeners or stuff like that does that affect? How many of you out there struggle on the daily? How many of you out there feel like your paycheck is a lottery ticket? How many of you out there feel like the personal rights are being managed in correlation with the correct social responsibilities?
Great question.
I need a crickets sound effect.
Yeah.
I need a cricket sound effect.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. Like, this is a lot of stuff. I'm waiting for Mary's comment to pop up. I want to see what she has to say. I think it'll be interesting.
So I have something.
You have something. What do you have? I want to know who can find me the cube that's missing from the foundation, the cornerstone of the Georgia Guidestones. I have a video. I've seen a video. Look for time. I have something on my mind in the area that I live. Every time you buy something that only adults should be able to buy, they swipe your ID. I would like you guys to search for that information. Goes Dad. All right. So we have to look up and find what it is in Minnesota that is only allows adults to be able to buy through the adult swipe ID. And speak that I will definitely look into that. We'll look into that because I think that's interesting, and especially when you go over here to this.
And Chicago could soon
universal
test the universal
coming out of
income
Chicago.
program. A city alderman there
They-
proposing a bill that would provide
It
1,000
seems to be a
families with a
pattern
$500 check
there's been
every
a
month.
constant change
No
in
questions
the
asked.
emphasis in the
Majority
act.
of city lawmakers have already signed onto the
Now
bill
they're
and are
almost
hoping to
mandatory
work
have a
with the
ID
mayor
/ driver's
to launch
license
the
passport.
And Chicago
Yeah.
could
Right.
soon test a universal income program. A city alderman there proposing a bill that would provide 1,000 families with a $500 check every month. No questions asked. Majority of city lawmakers have already signed onto the bill and are hoping to work with the mayor to launch the program. And Chicago could soon test a universal income program. A city alderman there proposing a bill that would provide 1,000 families with a $500 check every month.
That's a
No
tough
questions
one.
asked.
I don't. think
Majority of
so.
city
Not in this
lawmakers have
situation.
already signed onto the bill and are hoping to work with the mayor to launch the program.
If they test.
And Chicago could soon test a universal income program. A city alderman there proposing a bill that would provide 1,000 families with a $500 check every month. No questions asked. Majority of city lawmakers have already signed onto the bill and are hoping to work with the mayor to launch the program. And Chicago could soon test a universal income program. A city alderman there proposing a bill that
Stephanie,
would
tell
provide
me, what
1,000
does your family struggle with?
families
How
with
does
a
your family struggle?
$500
I know a lot of
check
families struggle
every
right
month.
now,
No
across
questions
the US.
asked. Majority of city
especially in places
lawmakers
like
have already
Michigan,
signed onto the bill
you
and are
know,
hoping to work with
there's
the
a
mayor
lot of
to
places
launch
where people struggle. A lot. I don't know if you like that one. Get me all excited and be like, yeah, shoot through the windshield. But like, there's families that struggle here. There's veterans families, a lot of veterans families that struggle. You know that.
We struggle.
Yeah, we struggle, for Christ's sake. A lot of families struggle. I see veterans and I know veterans that struggle, and they don't only deal with. There's a whole category of veterans that are completely forgot about in their struggle. And that category of veterans are the ones who they're not really homeless, but they don't have stable housing, and they're kind of like but they're still considered the homeless population. They're staying with friends, they're staying with family, they're constantly moving, they're constantly struggling and battling against VA to get certain claims, to get certain things they've earned, and I hate the word entitled, but they definitely earned these fucking benefits and this stuff. It's really sad, you know.
Yeah, I mean it is sad that to see these cats that have been, whether they served 4 years, whether they served 20 years, and we see them on the streets all the time.
We do.
I mean,
We do.
around here all the time,
You
and
got the
it's
10
sickening.
cities, you got all kinds of stuff, man. And it's, oh, I want to tell you guys so bad, but I can't tell you yet. It's so close. So close. I know we've been talking about it for like 3 months, but
Yeah.
I cannot wait till that happens. But that is sad, and we see it here all the time. And then you see things like the Georgia Guidestones. It talks about not dealing with petty officers or petty laws and basically stupid officials. It's basically like I could definitely see how anybody who could read this would and or could construe it and tie it to any conspiracy or deep state or any thoughts that they want. I could also see it how anybody who reads this could tie it to, well, maybe it's something for, when we do have that third nuclear war, because there are so many people who believe that it's coming. China wants to save the world. Okay. Yeah, a lot of us do, but we got to actually come together with an action plan to do it, because I don't know that we're getting it quite right yet. Not even violence related. Look at the fact that we have a plastic island floating through the ocean. It's bigger than like Alaska and Texas. That stuff's breaking down into the seawater, and half the sea salts now got particle plastic, microorganisms or biomolecules of fucking plastic in it.
These are big words that, once again, I don't understand, but I understand what you're talking about. Where it's coming. Yeah, they are. There's.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, just like Fukushima, we got still radiating nuclear shit out there, and supposedly it's supposed to hit California within the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And then the nuclear fallout because of that is.
That's insane. And they say that Japan doesn't have enough young population to sustain their own lineage, basically, from their island.
Well, I mean, it's.
Shannon, go ahead.
I wish they could stop, but the problem is the nuclear shit is like it doesn't. It's not going to stop.
Yeah. So what happens in the next nuclear war? Or is there going to be another nuclear war? You think we can avoid nuclear war? Because, I hope so, because, if we have nuclear war, then we won't have to worry about financials, and we won't have to worry about food.
Yeah, we definitely don't have to worry about money after that. That's for sure.
We're going to have to worry about how much can we get from wherever's left standing that we can steal that hasn't been fucked up.
we're gonna be stealing plants from each other. We're gonna steal pineapples, or we're gonna be stealing tomatoes.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be stealing seeds. I'm gonna be out somewhere. I don't know.
Pot seeds.
Yeah, duh. But I would actually probably go south, and I think we could minimize impact depending on the jet stream and circulations and where the wind drifts and air blows and all that science stuff that I'm not gonna use big words for. Stephanie's saying she struggles financial with food, insurance, healthcare, drug and crime in the area. My man works 7 days a week, and at the same time, it just doesn't seem to ever be enough. I would work, but childcare is astronomical, so it would be pointless. I don't know, just work to pay childcare. And let's see, and I know everyone struggles everywhere. I'm blessed, don't get me wrong, but it's hard to get ahead. I think there is already one brewing, you guys.
Yeah.
What's brewing right now? What's brewing? Our beer's brewing? We got
I
a
hope
beer?
so. That would be phenomenal.
Yes. Yes. We definitely got to work on this beer thing. That's going to be awesome. The Ice Cold Dick. Enjoy it.
Yeah. An ice cold dick.
Yes, sir, buddy. All right. I have an underground bunker. We just got to build it. Oh, okay. So you have an idea of an underground bunker that you haven't brought to fruition yet, but you have to build it. Okay, cool. You rent the Bobcat, and we'll go to Home Depot and get something. I don't know where I was going with that. It was probably going to be way inappropriate, so I decided to do a U-turn. I flipped the bitch on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I don't like?
What?
Is these oceans being so calm right now with the storms.
Oh yeah.
I don't like this calm before the storms.
I told you, man. It's gonna be a rough hurricane season. I'm sure.
I hope not, because
I told.
my fortress is getting beat down, and I need to. we gotta
put up those window things, man.
What's that?
When are we gonna cut the windows? The rest of the windows.
Yeah, I've got 6 out of, or we got 7 or 8 out of.
Hey, if you guys want to help
12.
us do some storm prep for the hurricanes, we'll bring the beer. You guys bring the workers, and we'll get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we definitely. This is a fortress, that's for sure.
Yeah,
This
I
is
wish
definitely
the
a
dick
fortress.
was brewing, but I think the nuclear is. How do you know the dick's not nuclear, yo? You don't know. You come out with the nuclear dick brew and fucking bomb everybody's shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
Is
can you
there
guys
war on the
honestly
brink?
say that you don't think that there is war on the brink? I can't honestly say that I don't
No,
think
not
that
at
the
all.
war is not on the brink. What I can say is if you look at patterns of history and you look at the Cold War era,
Yeah.
you're kind of, it almost seems like a recyclic model of a new Cold War era that we're entering into. We're constantly divided. We're always going back and forth. Where we everything comes from the far left, the far right. There's no middle ground. You got the libtards, the libertarians. You got the conservatives. You got the extremists. You got everything under the fucking sun, and you got everybody and anybody putting any kind of spin you want on it. That's why I kind of made the joke. Make sure you tune in to tonight, and grab your friends, pop your popcorn, and get comfortable on your keyboards for your couch wars from the comfort of your smartphone or tablet. Like, you don't think I said that fucking for a reason?
No.
Yeah,
You said it for a
I
reason.
said it for a reason because it just highlights the example of how everybody's so interconnected but disconnected from everything. Division, it's disgusting. You're right. We're all connected with each other, but how many of your Facebook friends are going to show up at your house and help you with something? How many of your, like, you can have 30,000 Facebook friends, but then you have a bad day or you fucking do something dumb, and then you're the loser in the high school popularity contest on social media, not the winner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's connecting you but dividing you at the same time. It's not. It's almost in some opinions replacing the emotional connection with the I don't even know how the fuck to say it.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's taking away the emotional connection, and it's just saying, hey,
Yeah.
everybody get in the herd. You got this, like, yeah, you got it right. It's it's sheepanizing. Whoa. Sheepanizing. That's a Marilyn Manson song, right? The sheeple, whatever the fuck he says. We're sheepanizing. We're colonizing. We're colonizing ourselves into our own infinitesimal speck of fucking bullshit right now. How you doing, Glenmar? Thanks for joining us. Mike, thanks for joining us. The nuclear dick is brewing. That's right. Point of what I'm getting at though is like, yeah, the nuclear dick's brewing. When that thing goes off, it's gonna flatten the whole world. All right. Point being, we're paying for our rights. We're doing it to ourselves. We're happily, submissively, and cheerfully just giving away everything that we claim to fight for. Essentially,
Yeah.
I mean, hey, okay, if this isn't, you know why religion was so amazing and great for the universe for 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 fucking years?
What's that?
Because you got a group of smart guys sit around and figure out, hey, we can't explain this shit. We don't know what it means, man. But we can write a good fucking story, bro. And we can tell them that there's this God and he's angry. That's why the volcano erupted. And they'll believe it because they don't know any better. Now, I'm not trying to be just blatantly disrespectful to religion. That's not the point. I'm just trying to highlight metaphorical examples and allegorical examples and the differences in the idioms and the language that's used during that time. There's a whole different cultural context in the language and the way that it was written in the Bible that doesn't apply to the cultural context of today's society. It just doesn't. So when we don't understand the language of what we're trying to represent, we're obviously going to fuck it up. And I get it. Point being, are we now in that evolutionary point, that critical point where we're trying to redecide our religions, we're trying to redecide what's accepted, we're trying to redecide if it's you're gay by choice or by force or whatever, like, transgender. We got all these things that have been in existence and been going on forever. You just haven't heard about it because you haven't had the influx of information and such expedient technological advances. The internet's where you can just Google whatever you want or ask Alexa or ask Siri or whatever. Who won't tell you she works for cops, by the way. Ask her. It's funny. Say, Siri, do you work for the FBI? I can't answer that. Not saying she works for the FBI. I have random conversations with Siri sometimes because it's funny as shit. I should probably put it out sometimes. Well, the point being, like, you got all this going on, and I don't know, man. Like, what do you think about all that?
It's a lot, man. It's a lot to.
Hey, brother. What are you losing? Shannon Rich is losing it. You losing it over the nuclear, Dick? Is it in your bathtub warmer?
That is one of those times, man.
It is about that time, man. We had a great, we had a great week. We're gonna get ready to close up the show. We've been talking about a lot of stuff, but then us who have been here from the go better beyond the good side of the dick flattening. I humbly appreciate your comment and your hospitality. That was very, very nice of you. The internet is the new Tower of Babel. Oh, you know what? I'm so glad you brought that up because I forgot to address that in the Godstones monument. There was a computer analyst who created an algorithm, and I know this probably is going to stand like, oh, whatever. But he created this system on his computer. I think his name was Vincent Smith or something like that. And it predicted the construction date of the tower that went up in not Babylon, but in Dubai. There's some great hotel rising that went up in Dubai, and it predicted the exact day that thing was supposed to be built. And lo and behold, it was built. And the Georgia Guidestones were put up 20, 30 years. They started making them in '79, and they were erected on March, the third month of the year, 22nd day of the month in 1980, and everybody associated with the Skull and Bones and all that crap talked about 322 and all sort of shit. So, that was the other reason why I piqued my interest to go because
Isn't that your birthday?
my birthday is March 21st, dickhead. This is dickhead Dilly right now. No, March 21st is my birthday, the day before these towers were erected, and that's another reason why I piqued my interest. I thought that was just kind of crazy and random. You know my mom. I'm not going into that part of the story because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, not that he actually knows my mom. He knows of my mom, I should say. But why would we forget the little people? We're not big people. We're little people. I know you guys probably think this takes a whole lot of money and everything right here, and that we're running in some crazy bomb-ass studio. We're sitting on a fucking porch, and the air's blowing through the screen door. We don't have AC up here.
We really don't need it at this point.
Right now we don't. We got a fan.
No,
Everything's
it's
good,
beautiful.
man.
Tonight, it's
It's really nice. AI is amazing. Medical decisions via computers. Yes, they also are 3D printing lungs and hearts and ears and all kinds of stuff. And there's a lot of things going on with the AI technology, because Amazon's been selling it to law enforcement, and now you have your rights activists kind of like, yo, that's fucked up. You're scanning everybody's face, getting 85 to 90% matches to find criminals, when really the people you're scanning haven't even done anything wrong. You see what I'm saying? Because it's going from the streets and everything else. So anyway, I thought it'd be an interesting topic tonight. You guys can check out more of these Guidestones. If you're in the Georgia area, I highly suggest you go check them out. You never know who you're going to meet or what you might see. What you got going on over there? Oh, that's all good? Oh,
Right.
Well, okay. Anyway, I highly suggest you check it out. It's an awesome time. If you're into this kind of stuff, who knows? I still got one more Deland Rock to, yeah, I know, Sean, it's okay. When we got one more rock to go when we go on our next adventure. We're going to place it somewhere. Don't know where yet that will be, but alrighty. Anyway, Glenn Marks, thanks, man. Hey, you guys are awesome. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching, everybody who's paid attention. It's been a great show tonight. We've been doing a lot of different trips. We'll be doing more trips. We've got a lot of stuff coming at you. It's been exciting. It's been fun. You guys have been awesome. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. I want to thank you for your time and Cindy for all the comments and all the shares and everything else. You guys have been awesome. Anything we didn't address, we'll try and get to next week. Before we close out, we got to hit it, man. What the fuck's been grinding your gears this week? What's
You know
been
what?
grinding your gears?
I really have nothing to grind my gears. I'm giving a shout out to my boss, Hugh. He got a raise today,
Hell
I
yeah,
love it.
good job, you.
and I was telling him today. I said you just can't get a raise just because and how come and what for. I said you have to have a good coworker. And I explained that to him. I said I'm not trying to take your credit for what you do, but
Right.
but at the same time, you have to understand that in order to get a raise, you have to have
Solid team.
a solid team.
Yeah.
And you know what he said? He goes, "You're absolutely right," and I thank you, Jeff. So to me, that was awesome, and that to me gave me enough gratitude today. That's why I have nothing to grind today. Or this week.
Well, hopefully you'll get a raise, man. That'd be pretty fucking awesome. Well,
I'm not looking for a raise. I'm looking for a new job.
a new job entirely.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't blame you. I need a job.
Yep.
I need a
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
I need a job. I do. Anybody? Hey, I'm gonna put this out there. If any of our viewers or anybody's been following us and you have anything cool or something awesome or something historic or something that has a significant meaning that's around your house, let me know. I will come meet you. We'll come meet you and we'll discuss it. We'll see how it ties in everything. Who knows? You might find the next national treasure clue. Who knows? It could be awesome. It could be great. And it's a good way to build a unity because, you know, when you see people and you interact with them, a text and comments can tell you so much, but nothing tells you anything better than when you meet people. And we're all about meeting people. We love to meet people. We love to interact with people. I think it's great. And it's something we're really good at, and we love to do it. So, on that note, I want to say what's grinding my gears: the fact that I've had to pay for my rights. But that's gonna change, and it's okay. Like I'm not trying to be.
No.
It didn't ever have to be this way, but it'll work itself out. And you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. Maybe we'll do a walk on the beach in the morning.
That's right. That's right.
But all right, guys. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for wasting an hour and a half of your time with us. Not that it was a total waste.
That's right. That's right.
But we love you guys. We mean it, and we'll see you next week. All
I
right.
do love you guys.
Dig liberty, all things American. Follow
Good night,
us.
guys.
Good night.